Patience pays. We might say this to ourselves and actually believe it. But when we come to our charts, we become frantic. All we want to do is place trades compulsively. Even if we place a trade and win, we are still compelled to place more trades. We want to trade every single day, okay? Even though we know that the more trades we place, the higher the likelihood that we lose and give back some, if not all, of the money we've made so far, okay? The greater the exposure, the greater the risk, right? Now, let me ask you a question. Would you rather work 3 hours a day, always little odd jobs, always different, for 3 hours a day to pay your bills every day of the week? Or would you rather work 2 times a month, 3 hours apiece for a total of 6 hours, always doing the exact same thing to pay your bills? I don't know about you, but I would pick working 2 days out of the month, 3 hours each day doing the same thing to pay all my bills, okay? The problem is, let's say that was possible. Let's say that I did that. I worked 2 days a month. What would I do with the rest of my time? What would I do the rest of the month, right? Because in this day and age, in the culture we live in, at least me, the culture that we've been raised around, it's like hustle culture or the grind mindset, right? As long as you work harder than the next man, you should get further ahead. The harder you work, the better and more efficiently you perform, the higher your pay grade is going to be, the more of everything that you've ever wanted you can have, right? But you have to do more, work harder, right? While everyone else is sleeping, you're up on the grind, right? While everyone else is playing video games, you don't have time to be playing video games. If you're not doing something productive, you're wasting time. If you're not studying something or learning something new, if you're not working towards your goals, you're wasting time, essentially wasting your life. We've been brought up in this sort of culture that makes us feel like we have to be on the grind 24/7 as much as possible. You have to work hard and do more. But a lot of the times with trading, less is actually more. You understand? But it can be very difficult to just sit there and be bored for most of your time, okay? When we trade, when we place trades, we feel like we're doing something. We feel like we're working. We feel like we're getting closer to our goals, right? We're soaking up experience at a faster rate, all of this, right? But in trading, maybe less is more, all right? It's like that old saying, too much of a good thing can become a bad thing, right? I think that trading is a good thing if you can go about it healthy, right? But too much of this good thing can become a bad thing. People develop all sorts of bad habits, right? And everything you thought you got into this for, it turns out that's not really what you're after. It seems like, right? You're in here for freedom. Instead, you've been shackled like ball and chain to your computer screen. You got to trade every single day. And me personally, when I started making YouTube videos, and specifically when I started that Discord channel, right? I sort of felt obligated to be in the Discord every single day, taking a trade every single day, because that's what I feel like people expect from me. Even though nobody really has vocalized that, that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm supposed to be at the charts and taking trades every single day and letting other people know when to trade, right? And everybody wants to trade every single day, right? even though that's not really how I started doing this. That's not really what I want to do, right? So from here on out, I'm going to be focusing on that patience, because I would rather take 2 trades a month or even 1 trade a month, right? Waiting for that perfect opportune time, that no-brainer type of trade, that 90-10 parabolic trade setup from the high or the low of the month or something like that. I'd rather take that one trade when it is obvious to me, when it feels like a sure thing, that one trade, rather than take 5 little trades here and there every day, trying to catch a move, trying to just grab some pips out of the market real quick, make a few bucks and take off, right? Sometimes you can do that. Sometimes the market conditions are great for that, right? Like you could see a few weeks ago with the DJ30, we had like 2 weeks straight of just down closing days. Every day you could just sell high, you know what I mean? But it's not always like that. And I feel like it's much better mentally, right? As far as your time goes, all of this, to trade as little as possible, okay? And Stacy will tell you this. Stacy's entire program, it's not only built to get you into trades, okay, and taking good trades. It's really what I feel it's primarily made to keep you out of garbage trades, to keep you out of the market. And like I've told you before, I feel like personally 80% of the candlesticks on the chart are meaningless when it actually comes to trading, placing trades. 80% of the chart is meaningless, whether that's like during the day. 80% of what's going on during the day doesn't mean shit. 80% of the week doesn't mean a thing. 80% of the month doesn't mean a thing. You understand? There's only a small fraction of the movements or the price action in the market that really means something, that really is showcasing you a real trade, a 90-10 parabolic, ain't coming back type of trade setup, okay? And it takes patience. You must develop patience and discipline if you're going to trade in this way. You understand? Trading every day, you might be able to catch more than 2 trades a month, okay? If you're searching through a basket of instruments and blah, 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 blah. But listen, I'm not a pro like Stacy. You know what I mean? Maybe I can't handle that much. Maybe I need to focus on one thing, really. Literally one setup, okay? Not just like first red day, okay? But first red day at the high of the month, okay? And that would be my setup. First red day from the high of the month. That's it. Otherwise, I'm not trading if I don't see this. And then it becomes way easier to sort of focus in and only trade that one setup. And all you do is just wait for that opportunity. Because when you're dropping like trade after trade after trade every single day, right? And you're manipulating the size of your trades. You're taking different size trades and stuff, and you never know which one to size into appropriately, and you take some losses, so you got to size it down or whatever. Instead of doing all that, why not just wait for that very, very good opportunity that comes around once or twice a month and just loading the boat, right? Until it's almost going to sink. Load the boat, right? Average in to that one good trade, 2 good trades every month, right? And you might even get more than that, right? And I'm sure you will as we progress and get better at this, gain experience with this. We might add in a second setup, and that's going to improve our odds of getting more trades than just 1 or 2 a month, right? But patience really does pay. Nothing feels worse than making a bunch of money and then giving it back. You know what I'm saying? And the more we trade, the more likely that is to happen. That's why I always tell you guys, I love the art and science that is trading, but I hate trading. I hate having open positions. I hate having money just floating in an open position, stressing out, anxiety, racking my nervous system. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just the type of person I am. I would much rather just sit back, observe the market casually every day, right? And only take trades when the stars are aligned perfectly. You understand what I'm saying? So going forward, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to fall back. I'm going to make sure that I stay true to my own trading style, how I like to do things, right? But I'm still going to be there every day in the session, right? In the New York session. And you guys can send me charts. I'll look over them with you. We can brainstorm about potential trades that you're thinking about taking or thinking about getting into, or we can go over the trades after you've taken them, win or lose. You know what I'm saying? We can talk theory. We can do whatever, right? But I'm probably not going to be trading, but just a few times every month. Okay, and I will drop those in the Discord. I'll do my best to drop them ahead of time so we can all be on the same page and maybe trade at the same time, the same setups, you know what I'm saying? Which is a cool thing about trading. For me, it's kind of like the moon. You know, they say, you look up at the moon and you know that maybe your loved one that's very far away is looking up and seeing the same moon. I feel like trading is the same way, like the DJ30 today, which I kind of messed up on. I bought it at 9:30 up to the high of the day, and then after we broke out of the high of the day or whatever, that thing collapsed, bro. It collapsed. You know what I'm saying? And I sort of missed out on that, on the actual setup, and I took that buy. But that don't bother me. I got stuff to do every day anyway. So I like to get out at 9:30, 9:45 and be done by 10 o'clock, So yeah, I wasn't even at the charts. I just shut everything down and missed the entire thing, which, again, doesn't really bother me. But anyway, patience, it really does pay, bro. It pays. And think about it. Think about it like this. There's that little ratio, bro. It's called an 80-20 ratio. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like an 80-20. For example, like you got books that are published every single year, right? Hundreds of thousands of books are published, but that New York bestseller list is occupied by like the same 10 authors, even though there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of authors publishing books every year. There still is only like a handful of people who are on the shelf everywhere you go, like Danielle Steele and fucking Dean Koontz and Stephen King and the one that writes all the little crime, like John Grisham and stuff like this. You know what I mean? You see the same people. It's like 20% of the authors that exist produce 80% of the works that you see on the shelf, right? And that's how it is with trading. It's like, really, out of all the trades that you take, only 20% of the trades that you take create 80% of the profits that you make, right? It's a small bit of the trades that you take that really have an effect on your account balance, right? And the rest of them are like gamble trades, 50-50 bullshit trades. Those great trade setups do not happen every day. Sometimes they don't even happen every week if you're looking at the same instrument over the course of time. Now, if you got a basket of instruments, that might be a different story. You might be able to catch 1 or 2 or 3 a week because you have a diverse basket of instruments, right? But I hope that this makes sense to you guys out there, right? And it might feel like you can't make money like that, right? Because it just feels like for some reason the more trades you take, the more money you're going to make. But it's also true, the more trades you take, the more money you will lose in the long run, right? So some of y'all might not believe that. But I will show you, I will prove to you that you really only need 1 or 2 trades a month to seriously compound your account and start making real money if you're sizing into these trades appropriately because you're confident in that setup, okay? Because everything is set up just right. I will show that to you, that we only need, out of an entire month, we only need like 4 hours, 6 hours of good momentum out of the market. And we can get rich. We can become free, type of thing like this. All right. So anyway, man, I appreciate y'all being here, all the love and support that's shown to the YouTube channel and to the Discord. That's beautiful, man. The Discord has really been popping off. Y'all have been lively the last few days, and I seriously appreciate that. Everyone who is brave enough, courageous enough to share their trades and to give advice to people and help each other out. It's a beautiful thing, man. But until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.